Hey, what's up guys, your man here, MonsterGadgets. I hope you're all having a wonderful day wherever you might be. Thank you so much for joining me. And in today's video, we're going to talk about the AirPods Max. I've had these for about 3 weeks now, and I'm going to talk to you guys about the pros and cons of these headphones, as well as compare them to the Bose QC35s. And lastly, I'm going to share with you guys a few of the models that are kind of in this price range, quality range, and see what's going to be the best buy for you. So let's go ahead and dive into it. Alright, welcome back. So let's go ahead and get started. As I mentioned before, these are the AirPods Max. I've had these for 3 weeks. They came out on December 5th. And I'm gonna go ahead and first give you guys what I think are the pros of these headphones. So pro number one that I like is the fact that these headphones are very easily adjustable. And once you do adjust them to the size that you want, they actually stay in place very nice. So this headband is quite nice in keeping it where you want it. Even when you're taking it off, just kind of keeping it there, it's sturdy enough to where it doesn't move. So next time you go to put it on, you don't really need to adjust it. It should stay put. All right, pro number two is going to be the controls that are on top of these headphones here. So you've got your crown, which is here. This is again coming off the Apple Watch, which you guys can see right there on my watch. This is what it's known for. Very simple to use. I love the button here for the noise cancellation as well. So these are really well built and they work they feel natural. So whether you're going through actually adjusting the volume, the soundtrack, or you're going ahead and canceling and activating noise cancellation, it just feels right to be able to go right to it and be able to adjust it without any issues. So that is pro number two. Now, pro number three is going to be the noise cancellation on these things. It is absolutely amazing. So when you have these on, you literally cannot really hear anything else that's going on around you, especially while something is being played. But obviously if nothing's being played and you have this on, yeah, you can hear a little bit of it, but I would say it tones out probably about 80-85% in my opinion of the noise that's around you. And when you're listening to it, the noise cancellation really kicks in when you have something playing, and you can really immerse yourself in whatever you're watching or listening without having the background noise bothering you. So Apple did a tremendous job on the noise cancellation, which I will also touch on as a con in a couple minutes here, but as a pro, when it's working, it works really, really well. All right, let's go ahead and get into the cons. So the biggest con I will say about these is the actual battery itself. Now, initially when I got these, I started using them immediately, and they work really well in the sense that I would charge it, they would hold the charge, and everything was good. A few days later, I noticed that even though I have it in a case while I'm storing it, this weird funky looking case, you guys, I'm sure you know how I feel about this if you follow me, it's super strange. But even when you have it in the case, for some reason it's not really holding a whole lot of charge. I noticed that in the beginning of the day, if I charge it to 100% and I leave it in the case and not actually use it, it still depreciates battery tremendously. I remember on one of the days it went from 100% all the way down to about 80%, 78% of just being left in storage. I didn't even use it, so it dropped, roughly about 20-22% just by having it in a case. Now, I did a test. I took it out of the case and left it sitting just on, and it depreciated the battery by about 35-40%. So the case, in my opinion, does help preserve some of the battery, but Apple claims that it puts your headphones in an ultra low state where it helps to save the battery. But again, 20-22% or something somewhere around that range is quite a bit of battery loss just for having your headphones stored and not even being used. So I did do some research after the fact, and I looked at some forums online, and it seems like this is a lot of problem that people are having with just being able to maintain the battery life on these while they're in storage. Now, while they're being used, they work really well. It does hold charge for quite a bit of time. Apple claims 20 hours of continuous use. I don't think it's actually 20 hours. I think it's more along the lines of 10 to 12 hours of actual use between using it and storing it throughout the day, because you're not going to keep this on for the full day. But while you're using it, maybe in between projects or in between meetings or in between whatever you're doing, traveling, you're gonna probably have these on for bulk of the time. So 10 to 12 hours is really more realistic between actual use and storage. So in my opinion, that's not good enough for a premium headphones that you're paying almost $550 for. So in my opinion, that is one of the biggest cons of these headphones. All right, con number 2, as I mentioned, as a pro, was noise cancellation. Noise cancellation is also a con on this, and the reason why I say that is because when you're not playing something, I mean, like as far as like listening to music or playing a video or whatever it might be, and you just have these on and nothing's being played, for some reason, at least for me, there seems to be some like hiss. And I know every noise cancellation device has like this hiss where it eliminates the sound, but this, after having it on for maybe 25-30 minutes, it almost started giving me a bit of a headache. So I'm not sure if that's just me, if I have super sensitive ears, but keeping it on without playing anything, just using it for noise cancellation, was really strange. I didn't like the feeling that I had after I activated it, kept it on just for noise cancellation purposes. So I'm not sure if that's something that other people have issues with as well. I don't think I have sensitive ears, but I do have some sensitivity to sound. So that might be the reason why it was bothering me quite a bit. So after about half an hour or so, I did have to take it off to prevent my headache from getting worse. But I don't like the fact that that hiss is quite loud when you're not playing something for noise cancellation. So while there's a pro that it works well when you're playing something and you don't notice that hiss because there's actually something being played, but when nothing is being played and you're simply just using this for noise cancellation or just to have them on or in between, you know, maybe changing your songs or a movie or whatever you're watching, it's quite noticeable to where, again, it bothered me and I ended up getting a headache from it. Other times I didn't really get a headache from it, but I noticed that hiss and I just didn't like it. So I would put this again as a con. All right, con number 3 will be the case itself and the way these are made. So I think I mentioned earlier when I first did the unboxing on this video, if you guys haven't checked it out, go check it out. But this case does absolutely nothing as far as, you know, if you're traveling or to protect these in any way or form. It simply just stays in there. Let me go ahead and show you guys real quick. If you have not already seen it, this is what it looks like in the case. And it's, to me, again, it's useless. The top is not covered, the buttons are not covered. You know, the actual headband is not covered at all in any way or form. And it just doesn't make any sense to have this case. It doesn't do anything outside of maybe preserving a little bit of, you know, battery life on it. But for traveling purposes, I wouldn't feel comfortable myself throwing this into a backpack, you know, in between my flights or in between travel or whatever I'm doing. I wouldn't feel comfortable just throwing this into a bag and hoping that it doesn't get damaged, because everything is pretty much visible and doesn't really protect it. So that would be a con number 3. All right, so those are the pros and cons for the AirPods Max. Now I'm going to talk a little bit about the other headphones that I have, which are the Bose. These are the QC35s, and I want to quickly just talk a little bit about how the QC35s compare to the AirPods Max. Now, I've had these for multiple years. I think they came out with them in like 2015 or 2016, somewhere around there. Since then, they've come out with 2 new models, which is a QC unit number 2, which basically on the QC5s, these headphones here, you guys can see they don't really have any controls in the bottom here, where the QC35 IIs have a button here for voice assistant through Google Voice as well as Alexa, or if you don't have those services available, you can actually set different levels of noise cancellation. So that is the only difference between the QC35 and the QC35 IIs. So again, these are the QC5. So sound quality wise, these are absolutely amazing. They sound just as good as the AirPods Max. There's really not a whole lot of difference that I was able to notice between the sound quality. Noise cancellation, I will say, is a bit stronger on the AirPods Max compared to the QC35s, but the Bose QCs have come out with a newer unit, which is a Bose 700. Now, I personally have not used that model, but from what I hear and what I've seen, that model is pretty comparable to the AirPods Max in regards to noise cancellation. So the QC35s and the QC35 II compared to the AirPods Max, noise cancellation will definitely be better on the AirPods Max. But from a comfort standpoint, from a surround sound standpoint, from just a sound quality in general, I really can't tell a difference between the two, between the QC35s and the AirPods Max. So these are about $300. this is about $550. So if you are a huge fanboy of Apple and you've got the extra dough to spend on these, I guess you can buy these. But for me, I really like the Bose QC35s, and not only do these actually fold to where you can put them inside a hard case for travel, where you can't again do it on the Apple AirPods Max. So I personally love this case. This is actually, I'm sure you can see here in the camera, this is a bit scratched up right here, but overall, this being, you know, 5 years old, almost 4 years old, I would say it's held up pretty darn well, and there's absolutely no other scratches or marks on here. And I've traveled extensively with these headphones and I absolutely love them, and the noise cancellation without the sound has never bothered me. It's absolutely amazing on these headphones. And while I haven't tried the 700s, I would assume the 700s are just as good, if not better, but I might go pick them up and review them. We'll see. All right, other models to consider along the lines of both of these headphones. Obviously, you've got the AirPods Max, you've got the QC35s, QC35 IIs, and lastly, as I mentioned, the Bose 700 are a good comparison. And let's not forget Sony. Sony's got the XM4 model, which is around the same price range of about $350, and that model itself is also very, very comparable from a quality standpoint, from a price standpoint, noise cancellation standpoint, to the AirPods Max as well as the Bose 700s. So, all right, so we've got 4 models that are in the premium range as far as quality goes for headsets. And so, of course, you've got the AirPods Max, you've got the Sony XM4, you've got the Bose QC35 and 35 IIs, as well as their newer unit, which is Bose 700 model. So those are the 4 models that are very comparable to the AirPods Max. If you want to save some money on it, again, they range from about $300 to $400 compared to the $550 price tag you would pay for the AirPods Max. Personally, am I going to be keeping this? Most likely not. I just don't think it's worth the price and the features that it has compared to the other ones that I just mentioned today. So I will be taking this back, mostly because of the battery. I think the battery was decent on this. I might have kept it, but I just don't see me keeping these for a price tag of $550. So let me know in the comment section below what you guys think of the comparison and which one you would prefer over the other, or if you already have a unit, which unit do you have and how do you like it? I would love to hear that from you. And so make sure you go in the comment section and let me know. Right below the thumbs up button and subscribe button, make sure you hit that if you haven't already, and I will see you guys next time. Goodbye.